Is sprinting away from the 1,000-metre marker. FERRARI's down the middle of the course, is right there in touch with them early on. Kabinda reacted swiftly towards the inside. Moon Shadow, as anticipated, plenty of speed. Brave Knight. The fancied runners are right there in the leading vicinity. Percy Jackson towards the stand side. Bletchley's in the orange towards the inside, and then comes Catamount further back. Royal Bodyguard. Brave Knight and Kabinda cutting out the speed. FERRARI's on the right-hand side. The white cap, a length and a half to make up. Moon Shadows in the pink silks, and Bletchley's on the inside. Kabinda and Brave Knight as they come to the 300. Anton Marcus now going through the gears on FERRARI down the middle of the course. Anton hits the accelerator, and here comes FERRARI. Moon Shadows in the pink silks going to try and match in the last 100. FERRARI, Moon Shadow down the inside. FERRARI with his head in front. You can now go on to the victory, and it's FERRARI revved away to win it. Moon Shadow second, Kabinda, and then came Kildonan Lad. Still very green, head twisted the last 75 metres, but FERRARI, the son of Tiger Ridge, for all the connections, the Petzers, Kotzers, Cummings, Horsefields, Potts, Watkins and Bartlett's. Here's FERRARI doing as he promised first time out, and he comes roaring through for the victory. Moon Shadow second. Cross the post third, that goes to Kabinda, Kildonan Lad, Goltero further back in the run, and Brave Knight. Musini, rev your engine. Royal Bodyguard further downfield, Catamount. FERRARI dropped down to the 1,000-metre trip, but thanks very much to Terry Fripp from the Tony Rivelin stable. They gave the green light, and Anton Marcus now executes the ride. And you can see towards the outside, changing the whip left to right, and now just trying to keep his mind on the job. Just a little bit green the last 100, but FERRARI, you can clear the runway straight to the winner's box here. Back to the studio.
Number 14, FERRARI has come through to open up the first leg of the bipod, beating number 4, Moon Shadow. And this son of Tiger Ridge been given 3.5 months off after his debut on the poly track, and he's really come through well. And a cool, calm, composed ride by jockey Anton Marcus. Firstly, Tony, well done to the team. I remember his debut on the poly track. You guys quietly fancied him that day?
Yes, we did, Dees. It was actually the FERRARI Knights race day.
Yes, I remember.
And so we opted to take a chance and run him in a 1400. I thought it most probably would be a little too far for him first time out, and he over-raced on that occasion. He was drawn very wide, so I thought it was a great debut that he made. I'm delighted for these guys. Greg Petz, obviously our director, he's been a good friend of mine for a long time. He's raced for a long time, loves his racing. He brought Sean, Gary, Brett, all the FERRARI guys. Obviously we've got old clients, Ian and Gary involved in this also, and Arthur Potts. So it's a whole friendship, an ownership that we all friends, and I'm delighted for them. It was a bit of pressure, obviously. You haven't run for 3 months. He's got a few niggles, this horse. So, he's still a light horse. He's a late foal, and I thought it was a good effort.
And Anton seemed to think that of your runners, in particular, this was his best.
But Anton, he's the best politician in the world. This is one already, and of course it's easy to say this is your best. But at the end of the day, look, Humidor's very well. There's a small concern that he hasn't been on the grass since his last run for various reasons. But I think he's done enough on the poly in the sand, and he's a really good horse, and I think he'll most probably rise to the occasion.
Coming back to this horse just quickly, I like the fact that he's won over 1,000, because this is too short.
Not really, Dees. Look, I think he's better 1,200. I think that's his optimum distance, and I don't think he'll battle to go 1,400 metres. He's a full brother to Bengal Boy, who himself, Robbie's tried over 14, doesn't stay. So he's basically a sprinter. I never had really any doubts that he could win 1,000. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put him in here. But obviously, it's just the fact that he hadn't run for 3 months, and I still think he's learning. He's quite a green horse, and you saw he travelled extremely well. Lost his way a little bit halfway, running around a little bit, and that's where it helps to have a really good jockey like Anton on, so well done to him.
Now, I love putting you on the spot. Just for the guys out there, Humidor followers, out of 10, a mark out of 10, what you give him for today?
8.5.
Thanks a lot, Tony. Thanks a lot. You're going to represent the guys. Greg, we briefly chatted when this horse made his debut, and, he certainly did not disgrace himself that day.
No, that was a great run. As Tony said, it was probably a little early, but it was a charity evening we put on for the Ferrari Club. So it was quite a nice thing to put it together for him to run, because it all started out as a bit of a joke. We bought a horse and a couple of mates in the club, get them into racing. What a way to get into racing with a little horse like this. I've been racing for 30 years, owning horses. I've never had a horse that's won by its second start, so this is fantastic.
And just listening to Anton as well, he's got high hopes for this horse.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, everybody saw how it ran out there. It was very green, finished well. I think there's a bit more to come, yeah. So, yeah, great.
Tell us about the guys. Most of them have made their way to the track, I presume, in their Ferraris.
No, no, not today. It's a little bit hot to drive these little small cars, so I think the guys are looking for aircon. I think they made their way to the Champagne to cool down now, though. But yeah, the horse, when we bought it, had no name, and thanks to Sean, he's the guy that came up with the name of La Ferrari, and yeah, good to see the horse living up to its name.
Well, there's various marketing tools that racing is using these days, and I'm sure they'll actually try and use this one as well. It's a lovely story, and give our best to the balance of the guys.
Great, thank you very much. Thanks
well
very
done
much.
to Greg Petzler, director of Gold Circle, and all the owners here with number 14, La Ferrari. Nice story. Great for all the guys. 14, 4, 3, and 12. That's the way they cross the line. Race number 2. Coming up next, the second of the exotics this afternoon. It will be the start of the place accumulator at 13:40, which is 20 to 2.